Welcome to Ask Cadence, everybody. My name is Pete Wright. I'm sitting here around the table with John Patton. Hello, John.
Hi, Pete.
Welcome to summer.
Thank you.
Beautiful, beautiful day outside. And Jay Christensen, how are you?
Oh, great, Pete. I'm glad to hear some weather is showing up.
Oh, it's so
And it's
nice.
a great time to be in Oregon.
It really is. No rain. I don't want to really tell too many people that, but it really
It's
is a
recruiting
gorgeous
weather.
time of the year. It really is recruiting weather. Come out here, enjoy the summer. You'll pay for it all winter long. So today, Jay, I think you're going to kick us off. We had a great conversation several weeks back about Agile and how it maps to the Cadence methodology, and I think you've prepared a webinar that we're going to be doing here very quickly or very soon, right?
Yes, in the process of preparing.
Okay, so I think we're going to be talking about doing this webinar sometime later on this summer, but we thought we'd take a few minutes to let you talk to us a little bit about what you've discovered in your research on Agile and what you're going to be talking about in this webinar.
I was quite surprised by the interest people that are showing in the Agile and Cadence mapping and talking about the methodologies of both. And that's what prompted this webinar that we are producing. And really, what I'll be talking about is what Agile is and is not. And from my understanding, and I've done quite a lot of reading, and also mapping in more detail the Cadence methodology, the Cadence project management methodology to Agile. And also talking about some possible misconceptions that people have about the Cadence methodology, particularly that it is very waterfall oriented, which it is not, nor is Agile. And both of those methodologies have value, and what we want to be able to do is recognize the value that each provides and capitalize on that value. And I want also to use a case as an example in the webinar so that I can demonstrate the concepts of Agile as also the concepts of the Cadence methodology and map the two of them. Yes, John?
Well, Pete, I've got a question right off the bat because this is an interesting topic for me. And one of the first things I hear very often from people just getting engaged in Agile is that project management is no longer necessary when you're using Agile development techniques. What do you have to say about that?
Oh, that's completely a false conception that people have, and that is that the project manager has a different focus in the Agile world. Project manager is really interested in making sure that the business representative talks frequently and thoroughly with the Agile development team, and that the team stays focused on the Agile process, and that the project manager in that environment would ensure that people do not fall back into what they may perceive as waterfall development. And the other key difference in terms of the Agile project manager is they need to convince management that Agile is not a cowboy approach, that it's not a do anything approach, that it is controlled, it does have a scope, and that there are results that are intended to be produced with each iteration. Agile has, in some cases, a bad rap, and that bad rap is one of the things that an Agile project manager must overcome. Also, a difference in both Agile understanding and the Cadence methodology is some people believe that the project manager is the person that defines the tasks, makes project task assignments, develops a project schedule, pretty much in a vacuum. That's not consistent with either the Agile process or the Cadence methodology. It is a team-based, team-centric approach, and the team members come forward and state what they will do in terms of delivering the functionality of a particular iteration, which is very, very compatible with the Cadence methodology in that we put together a responsibility matrix by the team. The team does that matrix development. So the team is actually committing to doing the work on the project.
Well, isn't that where the cowboy approach comes from? The misconception of Agile that it really is the developers sort of ruling the hen house, or the
and the misconception. In fact, if I were to be completely honest with you, in the very beginning, I had a similar idea about Agile. But as I have studied it and read more literature and talked to more people, I have found out that there is a scoping activity that happens similar to our research phase, and that scoping activity actually defines from a high-level business point of view what are the features and functions that are going to be included in the final software product. And this then is taking away that cowboy idea that the developers can develop anything they feel like. Yes, John?
Well, Jay, whenever we run into something that's new, now Agile's been around for a few years now, but it's something that's relatively new and begins to be accepted, people also fall into this discussion of better, or what they want to adopt better tools, and there's got to be some track record of better results, or something causes the faith of the developers to be placed in Agile. So is it an alternative way of getting projects, development projects done, or is there some better in terms of track record using Agile?
Well, the track record that Agile has in the software world is that more projects are delivered on time and within budget. I read a statistic, I'm not too confident in the number here, but it's like 45% of projects fail. And with Agile, that track record has been demonstrated to improve over time. And the reason is because there's this iterative development approach whereby the development team are interacting frequently with the business representative who prioritizes the functionality of the resulting software. And the team then, since they are self-directed, they are delivering, and they can see that they are delivering business value, which motivates them and enables them to complete more functionality within a shorter time frame.
I think the stat you were looking for, Jay, is the one that says of cost, schedule, and performance, 70% of all projects, software projects, don't meet one of those elements. And that's a citation which is reviewed and it is confirmed on an annual basis. Recently it went up a little, but only like 2 or 3 percentage points.
And Agile is particularly suitable for those environments where there is some discovery that needs to occur in an iterative fashion. Compare a software project to a construction project. Construction projects are fairly well defined no matter what the construction is. There's not a lot of discovery or experimentation that needs to occur, whereas in software development there is, and Agile's more suited to the software environment. And one thing that I have a personal opinion about, and that is that Agile is applicable to more than just software project, but I don't see a lot of literature supporting that yet.
I hear that as well, Jay, that people say, and it works on non-software projects as well, but I think that if anybody listening wanted to do some experimentation and branch out from Agile, that is really a fertile area. And that's risky, in today's environment. Does your company want to experiment? Whenever you're experimenting with something new, let's remember that the risks are higher, but the reason we do the experimentation is because the rewards are proportionately higher as well. So if in your business there are proportionately higher rewards for taking the risk of the learning curve on Agile, learn it well, apply it right, there may be some big returns for you.
And back to your early comment, John, what may happen in an evolution kind of a way is that Agile is characterized so well that companies can, project by project, decide whether or not to use the Agile approach or the more traditional project management approach. Based on the nature and the characteristics of the project, you could adapt the methodology that's best suited to that particular kind of project. Mm-hmm.
So this is where you're going with the big webinar coming up later on in the fall. So if folks have any interest in, and we know there is interest in Agile, using Agile, and how Agile maps with the Cadence methodology and approach to project management, this is where to go. And we will keep you posted on the exact date of that webinar. We're thinking, if I don't want to let the cat out of the bag, sometime in August.
Yes, that's correct.
All right,
yeah.
so August, we're nailing down to August, and so we'll look forward to that. Jay, thank you very much for doing all the research and study here. John?
Yeah, the duration is, what was it going to be, Jay? How long?
An
is
hour
that?
long.
An hour long, okay.
Okay.
Well, I would think to start with,
Well,
if
you've
there's
got to start with
interest,
something,
there might
right?
be more.
That's right. Here's hoping.
Yes.
And so thank you, all of you, for listening to Ask Cadence, and we will talk to you again next week.